Bourbonbarkeep, my name's Curtis, and if you follow this channel at all, you knew a blind was coming. We got to see, how's it stack up? Yeah, I do a little A and B, potentially during a spotlight. But I tell you what, Maker's Mark, the new cask strength, kind of surprised me. And then I was like, I got some other wheats out there. I'm pretty sure I just did a best under $50 for wheaters, and we're gonna redo it. I mean, there's a new competitor at this point. Some new releases up here, some standards, some shelfers, some absolutely impossible to get. And I feel like sometimes you gotta know, how does it stack up against the impossible, if you will. So we're gonna start, give a couple quick facts, blind these guys, and see where does Maker's Mark stack up. First competitor, we got the Bardstown High Wheated, but the higher wheat one, because the bottled and bond, that one's a wheat one. This guy coming in 6 years old, just about everywhere out here in the Kansas City area. $50. This is going to be the highest percentage of wheat in the mash bill. Then you knew, Holladay. They got to show up. They have been knocked off their pedestal very recently, mind you. But the soft red wheat, this is going to be the same variety of wheat as the Maker's Mark. So I'm like, that makes sense. This clocking in $50 out here, seeing it for 60, but try to keep price consistency, age close, proof kind of close. So Holladay fits the bill. They're just delightful. The soft red wheat is one of my least favorite of the varieties, but guess what? It still wins. Then we come to the person that started this whole thing, the new Maker's Mark. So the cask strength used to be kind of that 5 to 6 year non-age stated. And then they're like, you know what? Everybody else is up in age statements, slapping age statements on, or yes, let's do that. And at least the last episode that I tasted this, they crushed it. The shelfer from Heaven Hill, that's still not on shelves. The old Fitzgerald bottle and bond. Welcome. Beautiful bottle design, crushed it. This, I enjoy it quite a bit. 7 years old, supposed to be on shelves. It's not. It's still not. Then, speaking of supposed to be on shelves, kind of. Weller, 107. I was going back and forth. Do I do the full proof? Closer in proof. Do I do the 107? Findable. And then Jacob, one of our great patrons, he was like, do the 107. It's everywhere. And I'm like, look at you, Ohio. Good for you. I haven't seen this thing on a shelf ever. But he has a very heavy weighted vote in my mind. So we did the 107. So congrats to you. We get to see, is the gettable Weller should be dethroned. We're going to pour these guys up, then mix them up, obviously. And then we'll see. We'll get answers somehow, some way. All right, we got our 5. Every time I'm like, let's just do 4. But then I'm like, but I have that. And I'm curious. And you're curious. I mean, the thing that got me into this was curiosity. How do some of these bottles stack up? And I just can't help myself. So we're going to not spotlight, hopefully, just bang, 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 and just go with taste. We'll just see. I don't know. Hopefully there's enough trust between us at this point to where if there is heavy editing, you'll know that I rambled. And what's new, All right, so like, subscribe as I roll. Should have rolled. I didn't. All right, glass A. Wasn't sure if I was doing 1, 5, I don't know. But we're gonna go A, and we're gonna stick with A. Yes. A lot of apple, a lot of green or the yellow one. Golden Delicious. Putting delicious in the name, you would think it'd be better, but a little too soft, if you will, like a little crunch in there. Dominated by apple, great caramel in there, slight oak. We'll be curious how much of the wheat kind of comes out. I don't really gravitate towards graham cracker or even like an oatmeal type of thing. So not the biggest wheat fan, but there is a great smoothness, a great creaminess to some of these. So I'll be curious what pops out. vanilla, caramel apple, decent amount of oak. I mean, I don't think, 7 years? Is that the oldest? So we shall see. But overall, kind of intrigued. Do I go? Yeah, we'll taste. We'll do that. First sip, you're usually at a disadvantage. That's pretty good. Pretty good. I enjoy that one. A lot of cinnamon kicking up now. Still that caramel apple. Definitely some graham cracker. I can handle that, if you will. Nice graham cracker. Good sweetness to it. On the finish, cinnamon absolutely explodes. Does still that apple kind of front to back, which is great. For me at least. But nice kind of that cinnamon apple as it kind of hangs around. Maybe like a nice apple pie. Get a little caramel in there. Oak presence, a little more heavier on the nose. But there, I appreciate it. We're gonna go sip 2. Gotta figure out what you're doing. Sip 1, it could be a liar. We shall see. Not a liar, just great apple pie. Got that great cinnamon in there, little caramel drizzle. The complexity does kind of ramp up on the finish as I'm sitting a little time with it, if you will. Good leather, a little bit of chocolate in there, maybe like a dark chocolate, just slight bitterness. But overall, encouraged. But the last one, you got a long way to go. So do I. So, glass 2. Did I start with 1 or did I do A? This is going to be a nightmare. All right, we're going to go 2. Much darker. Definitely darker. A little more dark brown sugar, maybe a little maple in there. More red fruit. Shying away from the apple, bringing me into more of like a nice strawberry or maybe a black cherry. Love this nose. Definitely a little more wheelhouse for me. And I wouldn't say palate, but schnoz at least. That darkness, kind of this nice toffee or dark brown sugar. Oak is still going to be pretty prevalent, but that nice red fruit. I like that red fruit in there. Let's get on the palate. Oh, yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one. So far, 1 and 2, A and B. I don't know. Haven't gotten a ton of pastry or wheat funk yet. I mean, not overwhelming when you're going in thinking it's a wheater. This one definitely goes into that pastry. That red fruit continues, a little sweeter, so maybe a red cherry or still a red strawberry because it's ripe. But that snickerdoodle, this great just kind of cookiness, I don't know, there's definitely a better word, but that great sugary cookiness with cinnamon. Love snickerdoodles. So I'm pretty pumped for that one. Pretty pumped. I would say the mouthfeel, which I do heavily weight, as you see in some of these reviews, a little bit better on B. Now, like thinking back, we're going to revisit off screen. A little thinner on glass A over here. Glass B, yeah, enjoy that. Sip 2. If you mixed strawberry jam into your snickerdoodle, that's that. I may be onto something with it. We shall see. Overall, complexity, I would say a little lower. Just a good, rich, sweet red fruit bomb. A little bit of leather in the back end, but overall, rich, delicious. Do wish it had a little more something going on. Just throw in a little more oak, maybe a little tobacco. Sucker for that. All right, glass 3, C. I don't know. I should have written that down. Much more floral. I mean, obviously, I do feel like they influence each other. What I have personally found, I doubt that a professional would agree, to be very fair. I feel like it accentuates the differences. So maybe it wouldn't be as floral if I was just drinking this on its own. It's going to be influenced, but here we are. So that's what we're going with. Floral, florality. I don't know if that's a word. It is now. Definitely ramped up as opposed to the first 2 glasses. Great cherry, maybe like a candied cherry. Like less fresh, more red dye. But you're here for it. And a little more Skittles. That's what I'm going with. Red Skittle. A lot of vanilla. Great caramel. This one seems to be the sweetest so far of the noses. So trying to give you something to compare to, since YouTube doesn't do the smell yet. Let's get on the palate. That one's good. Very sweet. Coming off of the first two, definitely the sweetest. This is like I think I want to go purple Skittles. Maybe it's in my mind, but right now, whatever the berry one is, like if you just dumped, I don't know how to do it, not sexually. If you just dump the Skittles packet, the purple one, that's where I'm at right now. Great vanilla, a lot of cinnamon. Cinnamon, the most so far. Good spice. I wouldn't say it's overpowering, but Skittles, vanilla. I'm going to say honey, but I feel like the high fructose corn syrup or whatever they're using in Skittles is probably more accurate at the sweetness. Let's go sip 2. See if Skittles continue. I love that purple bag, so we got that going for us. I'm absolutely locked in right now on Skittles. Maybe primarily the red, there's like a handful of the purple and the blues in there, but overall, a lot of red. You're not upset at it outside of, what Kennedy's trying to do. You're like, ADHD doesn't sound super fun, but I digress. Very creamy. Love the vanilla. Definitely the sweetest so far. I could see this probably being, I don't know if I would go most approachable. I was going to go there, but that cinnamon's pretty ramped up. So maybe a little too spicy. Definitely, you got to have a sweet tooth. I'll give you that. All right, glass 4. D. I don't know. Pretty floral here too. A lot of cherry, a lot of chocolate cherry. Yeah, that's that chocolate cherry, and then you crack it open, and then like the cherry juice, but it's not real cherry juice, like the cherry gel running down you. Yep. This one, giving glass 2 a run for its money on richest nose. That chocolate's great, a lot more pastry. This may be the most pastry wheat forward nose, but not off-putting, not grainy, but like nice fresh baked pastry. Maybe like a chocolate croissant or something like that. Yeah, I like that. A little maple in there, great rich deep sweetness. Excited for the palate. That's good. Oh no. It was very oily. I was excited for it. I kind of had a little idea of maybe what it would be, and then it went away. And I'm like, why? Hang around. Great richness. There's like a butteriness, like a butterscotch. A lot of chocolate still. I mean, whether chocolate's getting amplified or not, I don't know. You could tell me this could be finished in a Hershey's barrel. I love it. It's great. Butterscotch, maybe like a nice buttercream frosting. Still kind of that pastry pulls forward, especially as it just kind of sits on the palate. That's the only thing that hung around. Like a chocolate croissant. And you're not upset at it. I just wish it just leaves the palate. Doesn't cling. But here we are. Sip 2. More of the same. You wish it hung around just a little bit longer. Good chest feel. Proofs are pretty close, so you're trying not to go down the rabbit hole, but pretty warming, especially after 4 other samples at this point. Well, 3 other samples at this point. But man, if you want like a chocolate pastry and cherry, that's it. It doesn't matter where that finishes in the ranking at the end of this. If that is your wheelhouse, who cares what the rankings are? All right, last, hopefully, certainly not least, glass 5, glass E. Definitely should have gone with the numbers when you say glass E. Whoa, a lot of floral. We're back. A lot of floral. Yeah. Much more orange. I don't think lemon. Yeah, this is a pretty good creamsicle going. Got good vanilla, soft vanilla, not fake like vanilla icing, but just a good rich vanilla. Great orange peel bringing me down in that creamsicle ice cream. I like that. it's a great change of pace. Some of those pours, you're just kind of like, is it a 90? No. But guess what? That change of pace you're just kind of excited for. What has been, this is the ramble. This is why edits happen. How different each one of these have been. I mean, you're talking very similar ages, close in proof, very close in price. Not that we're trying to find a substitute, but every one of these has been extremely different at this point. So your rankings could be wildly different than mine. Oak, trying to compare it to the other ones. I would say heavier. Top two in oak. So you got a little floral, creamsicle, probably some caramel in there, and nice oak. Let's get on the palate. A lot of fruit, a lot of different fruit. I'm going orange peel, a little more fresh orange than probably what was on the nose. Not a bad way. Great peach in there, apple. I mean, you got a quick little fruit cocktail going. Good vanilla. That's not bad. Hangs around on the palate for a while. I mean, not that I think that any of these are low quality since they're pretty similar, but the oiliness, the experience, pretty good, especially as the last one. I feel like one and disadvantage, but this one, pretty good experience. I'll be curious how it stacks up on the revisit, but let's go sip 2, see what else comes out. Very smooth, not a lot of spice, not in a bad way. I mean, so if you shy away from spice, you're definitely going over here than whatever one was the cinnamon bun. I think, was it this guy? We'll see. That one pretty smooth, oily, good experience, but that fruit cocktail definitely keeps going. Good caramel in there, decent oak presence. It tastes richer, so I'll give it that. You do kind of have to be in the mood, you know, to where typically I'm gravitating a little more darker, a little richer for my palate at least. But I think that one's pretty delightful. Now, I need to revisit and then see how it hits my brain. Just swimming at the end of this because it's quick, as you can see. Quick revisit. Let's rank them and go. Some of these blinds, a little easier to separate. I feel like sometimes the ranking gets a little jumbled just here. This one, pretty difficult, just because everything is so different. You're like, what's mood? What are you going to enjoy next week again and again type of thing. So this one, I hope some of the descriptions that were thrown out there help you all. If 4 winds up being your first, great. What do I know? This is, what do you want to buy? Hopefully you can find it, but ultimately it's up to you. In terms of how I rank some of these, I'll just kind of briefly walk you through. I'm going to say 5th place, which thoroughly enjoy. Like, being last in this lineup, I feel like is not that bad. So 5th place, I went with glass 3 or C, whichever one we're going with. It was just a little flat, a little one-dimensional. Really enjoyed that one dimension between the Skittles and vanilla and caramel and cinnamon. Can't forget the cinnamon. But ultimately, it was just kind of like, okay, I could see myself getting a little tired of just sweet at this point. So without further ado, glass 3. Okay. All right. There's regrets. There's regrets already. I'm not a big Buffalo Trace guy, but I do really enjoy the Weller 107, and didn't think that was happening, to be honest with you. At least that low. Didn't come in thinking I was going to win. Didn't think it was in last place. So we got that going for us right off the bat. All right, so that one is taken care of. Glass A. Is it because it's first? Maybe, but I did a revisit. This one seemed to have the most just kind of graininess to it. You had the caramel apple, but the caramel apple fell in wheat. And some people are pumped about it. There was a good roundedness. I did think the experience was actually pretty good with it, but I do shy away from heavy graininess, and that's at least what this one had. Oh, sweet God. Am I evolving? I don't think Holladay's juice is getting worse, but they're tumbling down right now. Once again, the experience is more rounded, the mouthfeel more oily than what Weller 107 was bringing to the table. If you're a Weeder fan, you're going to appreciate this a little bit more. I did say it was one of my least favorite Holladay versions, bottles. There's definitely a more professional term than that, but welcome to bourbonbarkeep. But ultimately, yeah. Okay. Just feel bad. Don't know them. They've never sent me free stuff, so now they won't ever. Third place. We got a medal. You can be proud of it. Unless you're America, then I hope you're not proud. Third place. I don't even remember what glass I'm on. Am I on? Is it this one? Yes, it's this one. Glass D. Glass 4. Fantastic experience. Probably my second favorite nose. The finish just, it leaves me wanting more. I need more to it. If you're not a chocolate guy, if you don't like what feels like almost finished whiskey in chocolate barrels, you're not going to like this anyways, so it doesn't matter. But the experience, it falls off the palate really quick, and I need something that lingers. I don't care what the price tag is. That's what I like. I like the experience behind it, not just really great notes, which maybe is weird. I don't know. All right. Yeah, that checks out. Been a few weeks since I reviewed the Maker's Mark against the Lost Recipe and the Keepers. It may have just been a Maker's Mark thing. I don't remember how long the finishes were on Lost Recipe or the Keepers, but I do remember it being a kind of a constant theme on the tasting. It's done really well. I mean, for $40, I think SRP is $48. So if you find it for $40, it's that much better. For $48, it's fantastic. This would be a very interesting choice if I was standing in the liquor aisle and only had $50. I think, yeah, I could save the 2 or could even save the 10. The experience is a little better over here, but the tasting profile a little more up my alley on the Maker's Mark, shockingly. And I'm not a big Maker's Mark guy. Now, we know Maker's Mark didn't stack up. Let's reveal 2 and 1 at the same time. Vastly different pours. I'm going to talk about number 1. It had the richness. It had the experience that I enjoy. It had enough of a finish in the chest that lets you know that you're still drinking whiskey. I love that. Number 2, the experience was probably the best. I just don't go overly fruity. I need something to round it out. So I lean darker, richer. So that's going to be my bias on this ranking. But I was pretty surprised how close second place was for how different of a profile it was to what I like, actually. So, number 2. There's your number 2. I'm not horribly shocked. I was a little surprised at how polarizing the Old Fitz was. I feel like I saw a handful of people. I mean, I don't watch that many, but I feel like I saw enough people to where they're like, I hate it. Saw a lot of people that really enjoyed it. I was one of the people that really enjoyed it. I really enjoy the richness of it at $50. It's a no-brainer. But the Bardstown Weeded continues to kind of gain momentum on what I'm really enjoying. This was kind of a flip of the coin on a House Call Wednesday we did way in the past at this point. It was truly a flip of the coin. I thought it would be closer to kind of preference by day, and it's really starting to distance itself. I think the experience and the proof that Bardstown brings with the Weeded is really impressive. It's definitely what separated itself between the Maker's Mark. I would say the closest was probably these two, just because I enjoy this, but the experience is so much better on the Holladay. I don't know what we learned. You got Maker's Mark smack in the middle. So, but for $40, pretty good. I'm going to lean Bardstown, apparently, at the same price, roughly. But, yeah, that's how it shakes out, at least on this channel. Curious if other channels do anything similar. But that Maker's Mark, good for you guys. I don't enjoy them. I don't own a lot of their bottles, but this was definitely a very impressive batch for the 7 year, 2-month batch. How would you rank them? We'll go from there. Appreciate y'all watching this long of an episode. Like and subscribe.